Hello everyone, welcome back to another review. This time we're gonna be talking about the one-shots, all of them. I thought about making a separate video for each of these, but it actually makes more sense if I did not, and instead decided to put them all in one big video, because to be honest, it's just, some of these are like 5 minutes long. I can't really make a video about that, so here we go. We're gonna talk about all of them individually. Now, first of all, this is sadly enough a concept that Marvel has abandoned, and I'm actually sad about that, because I always like these one-shots that they would release on the Blu-rays of the next movie, kind of. And also, for the people who don't know what the Marvel one-shots are, think about it like this. They are basically just TikTok or YouTube shorts. It's kind of like that you need to see. Now, some of them are longer than others, but most of them are about like 5 minutes long. Little adventures that you can have fun with. So let's get into them, starting off with the Agent Carter one, which is about the fact that after World War II, Peggy Carter now needs to know what to do with her life. And also, I like to say that this one is just not canon, okay? Because it's either 15 minutes of Agent Carter or 2 seasons. So I'm taking 2 seasons. But basically, there's this thing called Zodiac, and Agent Carter needs to get that. Simple as that. But obviously, problems will arise. It's I think the longest one out of all of them, or the second longest one. And also, it is technically my favorite because I love Agent Carter. But who doesn't, okay? Haley Atwell once again does a fantastic job as Agent Carter. Then after that, we have a funny thing. By the way, I'm going to talk about these bad boys in timeline order. So we have a funny thing that happened on the way to Thor's hammer. Basically, this takes place after Coulson left Iron Man 2 and went over to Thor. But on his way, he stops at a gas station, and then something happens. That's basically it. And once again, Clark Gregg does a really good job as Phil Coulson, R.I.P. the boy, or not really, if you follow along with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I do. After that, we have The Consultant, and this one is basically just an extended version of the post-credit scene of The Incredible Hulk. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't actually remember if that was a post-credit scene or if that was just an end of the movie scene. But anyway, it's just an extended version, some more background. And this was actually the one that I always was like, when people said, oh yeah, not canon, The Incredible Hulk's not canon, I was like, but the one-shot though. The one-shot is literally what makes the Incredible Hulk movie canon before like Phase 4 and all the returning stuff happened. You know, with Captain America Brave New World and She-Hulk. After that, we have Item 47, which is basically what happens if the Chitauri tech falls into the hands of like real people. And we actually have some new people for this one. We have Jesse Bradford, who portrays Benny, and we have Lizzie Kaplan as Claire. And basically, they use the alien tech in order to rob places. I like this one a lot because of the fact that we don't really get to see this a lot of the time. It's just usually like the big stuff. This is why I'm a big fan of all the TV shows that Marvel's done. Not all of them technically, but I'm a fan of all of them because of the fact that they actually show like ground level stuff. And this is such a ground level thing. Like what happens if Chitauri tech falls into the wrong hand? You know, that kind of stuff. Big fan. And then afterwards, we have the second favorite of mine. All Hail the King. Basically a fix from Iron Man 3, but this one focuses entirely on Travis Slattery as he is in prison. And he gets interviewed in prison as well. But basically his prison life after Iron Man 3. And then finally we have ones that are weird, which is basically Team Thor, which also ends with Team Daryl. But that one, I will talk about it right now as in like that is part of it. But I'm gonna not talk about that in the spoiler talk. I will save that for Thor Ragnarok because it actually takes place after Thor Ragnarok, which I didn't know before watching it, so my bad. Anyway, this is basically about Thor moving in with a guy named Daryl, and he doesn't really get invited to the Civil War stuff. And this one also is not canon because it just doesn't work because of one scene that I will not talk about here. But overall, those are the things, and yeah, I'm a big fan of this concept. I kind of wish that Marvel would bring it back because you could just have like some all stories. I mean, I guess you could kind of say that they've been replaced by the special, but I just thought that this was a really fun concept, and everyone who acted in it did a really good job as well. And it was so fun to see Ben Kingsley back as Trevor Slattery. He just owns that role, even this silly one. Yeah, that one is actually the funniest of them all. But the Team Thor ones are the ones who, and also the reason why I waited with this, because this technically was supposed to go up after Iron Man 3, but it didn't because of the fact that, you know, the whole Team Thor stuff. And then I learned that Team Daryl was after Thor Ragnarok, so I still ruined it. Anyway, I promise you guys this doesn't really matter. But overall, like the Team Thor ones are also pretty funny. I found them very entertaining, but they don't really fit into canon, really. I mean, they could work, except for that one scene that exists that just ruins everything. Because, like, you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing? But outside that, they're all fun, so I'm just gonna go into my final verdict, because there's not much else to say about this. That's how short they are. I've talked about everything. So, my final verdict for the Marvel one-shots are gonna be an 8 out of 10. I thought they were fun. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. There you go. So, that is it. That is the review of the one-shot. So, let me know what you guys thought about the one-shots down below. And do you think Marvel should bring them back? I am on the camp of absolutely yes. I would love to see them bring this concept back, because I actually very much enjoyed it. But with that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if you've done so already, turn on notifications. Don't forget to check out the Let's Play channel, link discussion, and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys next week when we continue on with the MCU road with the movie known as Black Widow. Bye!